Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias. Excuse me. Leave your throat at the door by the sounds of it. Leave your bias at the door and join us for our championship review and reaction for round... God, what round are we on, everyone? Round 25. Jesus. Let me put that up as a banner. And that might just remind me. Look, we're having to do this at lunchtime today. It's just a ridiculous schedule at the moment, isn't it? Obviously, a round on Boxing Day. We got some games in that one. Then a round starting on the 29th, wasn't it? And then, was it 28th? See, even I'm losing it here. And now a round starting on New Year's Day tomorrow. So we're going to do the review right now. If you are here and you are watching on New Year's Eve lunchtime, then please do say hello in the chat. Do give us your comments on each of the 7 games. Did you expect 7? That's pretty good. Pretty good, you have to say. Do get your comments on each of those, but make sure the first thing you do, hit like. That really helps swell our numbers and bring more people along to the stream. Right. Let's say some hellos in the comments to Anir, Dave, Charlie, Stephen, Napper's mum, Callum, Chris. Chris, there's no cheating going on, for goodness sake. Don't slander anybody. We'll get that fixed. Stay calm, my friend. You'll get your points. Don't worry. Have we said hello to Richard and Cole and Owen going up with his Blackburn badge there? You love to see it. This is Owen Elwood, which is nearly Ewood Park. Excellent. There you go. I got that reference if anybody else didn't. Let's just quickly say thank you to good old Russ, our friend and our sponsor for the Championship Review Show. He's sponsored over on Patreon, was a foe, now a friend, currently on loan to the Premier League for a year. Thank you, Russell. You too can get involved over on Patreon if you so desire. Right. Let's bang through the results and then we'll get into the analysis of each and every game. As always, we'll go from the top down to the bottom. Have a look down there. That's the running order. So whenever your team pops up, if you're that way inclined, you can get interested. If not, comment on everything. Go on, keep the comments flowing. So postponements, Swans, Luton, Birmingham, Posh, Blades, Hull, Royals, Fulham, Baggies, Preston, and the games that did go ahead ended: Blackburn 2, Barnsley 1, Blackpool 1, Borough 2, Coventry 0, Millwall 1, Bournemouth 3, Cardiff 0, Bristol City 1, QPR 2, Forest 0, Huddersfield 1, Stoke 1, Derby County 2. Let's get into this. We'll start with our highest ranking game. Before we go there, do make sure that you hit that like button in the stream before you get commenting. And then let me know your thoughts on Bournemouth 3, Cardiff City 0. And Bournemouth, all of a sudden, having been in terrible form with the tables turning and the fixture list being what it is, they're now 4 points clear at the top. And I think it was an awful run, wasn't it? It was like 8 points in 6 games or 6 points in 8 games, something like that. Massive drop-off either way for Bournemouth. But back-to-back wins against QPR and Cardiff. 2 clean sheets as well, 6 points. What a nice way to finish the year for Scott Parker. They are 1 point off 2 points per game. Amazing how quickly it can spin back. Remember the Leeds and West Brom thing in 1920 where they were a long way clear, then they both sank back down, but then they both got moved. Well, Leeds definitely, West Brom less so, but they both got moving again, didn't they? So talk to me about Cardiff 3, Bournemouth 0. There are your teams. Travers in goal for the Cherry. Stacey, Cahill, Kelly, Zumura. They're better with him in the team, aren't they? Billing, Lerma, Cook, Christie, Solanke, and Anthony. For Cardiff, doesn't feel like we've talked about them for a while. They're on 23 games. There are still some teams on 22 games who seem to be having all their matches postponed. Smithies in goal for Cardiff. McGuinness, Flint, Nelson, Giles, NG, Volks, Rolls, Harris, Bakuna, and Kiefer Moore up top. Get your comments in on this one. Here's your opener, scored by Ryan Christie on 25 minutes. Solanke's going to get an assist for this one, but should Mark McGuinness get the assist? Can you see him on the edge of the box there? He's going to try and block this shot. I don't know how far it was going into the corner in terms of Smithy's right-hand side. Ended up going in the other corner with a deflection off Mark McGuinness. 1-0 Bournemouth at half-time. But trouble. 45 plus 2, first half stoppage time. Red card for Leandro Bacuna for serious foul play. You can see Bacuna is trying to stop, by whatever means, Phil Billing there. We know what the laws say, don't we? They say any lunge from the back or side with excessive force, or that does endanger the opponent, is a straight red. So not necessarily excessive force on this one, but probably endangering the opponent. Look, he's gone round with both legs and he gets the red card. Into the second half, here is Dom Solanke, number 18 of the season for him. Lovely little give and go with Billing. When those two are firing, Billing and Solanke, Bournemouth tend to be winning 2-0. And good old Jeff Lerma, we love him on the channel, don't we? He's always a protagonist, antagonist, whatever you want to say. Smashes this shot against the bar. He hits this so hard. It's not true. Hits the bar, bounces down, hits Smithies, and goes in. Let's have a look at the numbers, and then I promise we'll look at your comments. You might have commented about 5 minutes ago and haven't read it yet. Look at that. Comfortable in the end with the 10 men, 72% possession, 16-6 on shots, 5-3 on target, 4 big chances to 2. Kiefer Moore did have a couple of all right chances, didn't he, for Cardiff. Bournemouth, top of the league. Okay. Fulham, Blackburn, West Brom all have games in hand. But it's just a very interesting way the table has changed. We did have a front two or a top two miles out. Now we've got the top one, 4 points clear. Then we've got 2 tied. And then we've got a 4-point gap. And then it's just all switched around and will continue to do so with this odd fixture list. Now, Cardiff still on 22 points down the bottom there. They are halfway through the table. And you all know my numbers, 45 to survive. Well, they're projecting 44 for the first half of the season. Cardiff, can they do a bit more in the second half of the season? Let's go to some comments. What do we got here? David, I keep getting adverts about rockets not firing on my. I don't choose what, David. I don't choose what videos go on my content. That's more to do with your Google search history, my friend. So yeah, read into that what you will, David. Hopefully the adverts are helpful in any way, shape, or form. Mark, Cherry's getting their mojo back. Yes, they are indeed. Callum should have been at least 5. There we go. Favourable fixtures coming up. You'd like to see that. Mark, also Solanke, Billing, and Lerma on fire. Bournemouth record with and without Zamira must be interesting. Someone do that for us. I bet it's we might not be in Buendia category, are we? But there we go. Dazza will come on to Seasiders in a minute in terms of Blackpool. Mr. E, have only seen your still picture of the Bacuna challenge, but that looked highly dangerous. Yeah, we shouldn't judge it ever on a still, but yeah, sometimes you can. He's got both his legs wrapped around Cardiff. Little money to spend. So we're led to believe, Chris. So we are led to believe. Keep your comments coming in, guys. Please, I've got to do better at this. My New Year's resolution. Do hit that like button. It really helps us out and helps the channel grow at the rate that it should be. We are going to move on. We're not going to talk about Fulham because they didn't play, and they are 2 games behind Bournemouth, 1 game behind Blackburn and West Brom in that top 4. We are, of course, going to talk about Blackburn, who are in fabulous, outstanding, fantastical, whatever you want to call it, form. And they, unsurprisingly, beat Barnsley, who are none of those words at the moment. It was Blackburn 2, Barnsley 1. Get your comments in on the Rovers. I don't know. What number do you want? What number do you want me to give you for Blackburn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins in a row. I think even more impressively, though, is 9 wins in 11 games. Sensational form for the Rovers. Sorry, 9 wins in 12 games. My bad. You'd still take it, wouldn't you? Hey, 9 wins in 12 for the Rovers. That's nearly, it's a quarter of a season, isn't it? 12 games with 9 wins. So astoundingly good form over a sample size that big. Very, very impressive. Barnsley we can talk about in a sec. I've just written my preview for Football 365 for Barnsley Forest. And it just doesn't read well. Get your comments in on Blackburn 2. Barnsley 1. Kaminski back in goal for the Rovers. Lenihan, Van Heck. Scott Wharton, who's got a ridiculous points per game record this season, hasn't he? Pickering, Nyambe, Travis Rothwell, Buckley, Kadra, Ben Brereton, Diaz. For Barnsley, Collins in goal, Britton, Hellick, Anderson, Kitching, Palmer, Benson, Morris, Styles. Number 10, really? Adore and Isaka up top. I had one eye on this on the 2 watch-alongs we did. Get your comments in, by the way. I kept seeing Blackburn chances, but it was 1-1 at half-time, wasn't it? And Barnsley really the architects of their own downfall for this opening goal. I don't recall who gave the ball away, but they were playing out from the back. They gave it straight to John Buckley. He slid it through to Joe Rothwell, who we normally associate with carrying the ball from deep midfield right through, whereas he was the runner for this one. Through he goes and scores 1-0. However, just before half-time, annoyingly for Blackburn, who hit the post and missed another one-on-one in the first half, here comes Carlton Morris. They have a few chances to clear the ball, Rovers, and Morris, I think he drifts it in off the far post, doesn't he? And it's 1-1 at half-time. So they've got it to do in the second half, Blackburn. And of course they do it. And of course, who is the goal scorer? Ben Brereton. Diaz with that infamous, he comes in off the left every time. And at the moment, he is so confident, so lethal. He's just running at defences. He's big and powerful as well, isn't he? Goes straight at them, so direct, shoots early and scores most of the time. He did actually miss a 1v1, Mr. Diaz, later on in this game, but sensational. And we've given him so many plaudits. 20 goals now, just past the midway point in the season. Can he get to 30? Will he be around to be able to do it, or will Blackburn get offered more money than Jeff Bezos has even got in the January transfer window for someone to procure the services of the Chilean sensation? The numbers read well for Rovers, don't they? Look, 14 shots to 7, 5-2 on target, 3 big chances to 0. Sensational from Rovers. And look at that. Yes, I know Fulham haven't been playing recently, but still, for Blackburn to be anywhere near Fulham, when you think about the resource and the squads of the two, is regardless of how many games Fulham have had cancelled, that is sensational. 9 wins in 12, 45 points for Blackburn, who are, well, you do the maths. What normally gets you the playoffs? 72. Or rather, for those pedants who, I was getting picked up by someone on Twitter about this. My rationale is always the average for 7th place is 71.7. So for you to be above the average of 7th place, you need 72. And if you're above 7th, you're in 6th as far as my statistical brain goes. Brilliant Blackburn. What else can we say? Barnsley, eek, ouch, oof, whatever. 14 points. They'd be well bottom. Look, Derby would actually be, now if you had the 21 points on, they'd have twice as many points as Barnsley do. And do you know, I was doing some research there. Barnsley actually had 4 points after 2 games. They won and drew their first 2 games. So in the intervening 22 games, they've scored 10 points. They need a win from somewhere. Where the hell is the next Barnsley win going to come from? What are we saying in the chat here? Charlie on another night could have been 7-7. Dave, Blackburn in imperious form. Could they get automatic? I don't think so, just on the basis of resources. But another 12 games like they've just had, and they will Can they do it, though? Not sure the scoreline indicates any real improvement for Barnsley. No, it doesn't, does it? Ben, sometimes you've got to win a bit ugly. So another goal for the Santiago saviour. I like that a lot. Ramal Palmer. Oh, bless him. We don't want to call out young players, but yeah, he gave the ball away. Fair play to Blackburn. See what an old school manager can do. I mean, you say old school. He is old school, but he was always a bit ahead of his time with the possession and stuff back in the day at West Brom, wasn't he? If they get a bid of over 20 million, I think they have to sell him. Surely they can push for more money than that now, Chris. Surely. Read that the bookies have taken a hit on the amount of goals Diaz has scored. I'm not surprised. I'm absolutely not surprised. BBD looking brilliant this season. Would be a gamble to turn down a big bid. That's the decision. That's the decision for Blackburn. They've got to hold firm. They've got that extra option for another year on his contract. If they sell him, they need to get paid big style, don't they? David, looks like Blackburn moving upwards. Well, West Brom moving the other way. Goals making a difference, as they always do. Dave, Barnsley will go down and have to rebuild in League One. What a downfall. It has been a fast downfall. Thank you for all your comments. Keep them coming. Please do hit that like button if you haven't already on the stream. We are going to move on. We're going to talk about Middlesbrough. Talk about one side in good form. They can't quite get to Blackburn levels of form yet, but they're on the way, the Borough, aren't they? And they got the sort of win that a side that things are going in the right direction for gets. It was Blackpool 1, Borough 2. Get your thoughts in on this one. And I think you all know the story. 1-0 going into stoppage time. Blackpool equalised. And then what happens? Borough go and get the win. Sensational stuff. Wilder and Borough in fabulous form, although some doubt about their game. We can talk about that in the preview show. Is it going to go ahead tomorrow? By the way, we'll do the preview show. I'll give you a little poll on Twitter and on YouTube to answer what time we do it. Probably going to do it about 9:30, 10 tomorrow morning, so you can all enjoy your New Year's Eve without my fat head appearing on your phone or your laptop or your iPad or whatever. Get your comments in on this one then. Blackpool 1, Borough 2, particularly your comments on Borough. Outstanding form under Chris Wilder. Sorry, I was going to give you a number after all that, wasn't I? We can give you 5 wins in 6. So 16 points in the last 6 games. 5 wins and a draw. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 1 goal conceded in 5. 2 goals conceded in 6. They're winning and no one's scoring past them either. Or anyone that does, it's a very, very slow rate. Blackpool were the latest to try and to fail. Grimshaw in goal. Ekpiteta, Keogh back. That's good news for Blackpool. Gretterson, Husband and Sterling wing backs. Connolly, Dougal, Anderson, Yates and Medine. Critchley trying to match up the 3-5-2. Lumley in goal for Borough. Bamba, Dykesteel, Fry. Dykesteel in the middle of the 3. Interesting. Jones, Peltier, wing backs. Crooks, McNair, Tavernier, Hernandez, and Sporar up top. Get your comments in on this one. Blackpool 1, Borough 2. This is a great goal. I love this from Sporar. It's Jones going down the right-hand side, as he's very good at. We did pick him out literally after game 1 of this season, didn't he? Now, there's back heels and there's back heels. This is brilliant from Sporar because he gets his body across the front, which brings the defender with him. Then he lets it run across a little bit, takes the defender and the keeper out of the game, and then back heels it round behind his back. There's back heels and back heels. That is a brilliant finish by Sporar. I think you can see the angle of what he's done. He suckers them in at the front and then flips it in round the back. Lovely goal. Bear that one in mind for your goal of the round. However, this one won't win you goal of the round, sadly. It's a long ball down the middle in the 91st minute. Anthony Dykesteel, it's poor. He could just let this one go out for a goal kick. He tries to play it, gets his bearings all wrong. Shane Lavery doesn't have his bearings wrong. Sticks it in to the corner first time. However, here they come. 2 minutes later or 1 minute later in stoppage time, it's Jones again, a double assist. He's such a good player, Isaiah Jones, isn't he? I thought when I first saw this, I thought own goal by Ekpiteta, but no, it's very nicely done by Duncan Watmore. just shades it in. Only needs a little touch, doesn't it? And it just goes in the corner. What a win for Borough. Won't be fun to have seen if you're a Blackpool fan, but good limbs in the away end there, as you'd imagine, with that type of victory for the Borough up at Bloomfield Road. Here are the numbers. And look, okay, the big chance counts, so XG is good, but everything else is tight, isn't it? 3 shots on target to 2, 12 shots to 11 in Blackpool's favour, 52-48 in the possession to Blackpool, 5 corners to 4 to Blackpool. I know game state is what it is, and they were defending a 1-0 lead for a fairly long time, weren't they, Middlesbrough? But yeah, that's the type of win you get when things are really going in your direction, isn't it? Well done to the Borough. They are in 5th, 39 points. Look, 2 behind West Brom, but look at that gap. 6 points up to Blackburn and Fulham. Have we got a top 3 now? I don't know what's going on with this title race, this automatic race. Blackpool, I mean, the run in the long term is really not good, actually. They got that 1 win, didn't they? And a few of you said to me, yeah, well, calm down, Ben. It was against Peterborough, and Peterborough playing away from home is not good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 win in 10 games and 6 points in 10 games. 0.6 points per game over a sample size of 10 games. So Blackpool are slip-sliding away down the table. They need to get things moving again. Fortunately for them, they've got 30 points. So you would suggest, I think one of our commenters was saying earlier in the stream, they're only really 10, 15 points away from safety, consolidation, etc. Is that the standard we judge Blackpool by? Critchley sets high standards there, doesn't he? David, good result for Borough. I do think some of our fans are getting a bit carried away. Of course they are, David. That's what football fans do. Happy with the progression under Wilder. No trophies are given out in December, January. No, they're not. The way Wilder's got playing, got to think they'll be in playoffs come the business end of the season. Looking good for that, isn't it? Stephen, we never score late winners. Yes, you do. Lewis, great spirit by Borough to score straight after Blackpool. Sporar, goal contender for goal. I totally agree with you on that. Great goal. Wilder has shown what a poor job Warnock was doing. Maybe so, Chris. I'll give it a few more months before I judge, but I may be agreeing with you. Come what may. Chris always goes earlier than me. I'm far too pragmatic with my calls on that. Sporar was practicing that exact finish in pre-match in the warm-up. Pull it off in the match is another thing. It's a great goal, isn't it? Mr. E, Blackpool fans must still be having fun, though. Competitive. That's a very good point. They are competitive under Critchley, and everyone comes up with that stat that, I don't know, this time last year or a few games before, Blackpool were like 16 for something, weren't they? Look at the teams who we beat as well, says Graham, and a draw at Stoke. Yeah, you can't say fairer. Borough in very, very good form. Please, guys, keep the comments coming. I'm loving the interaction here. Do hit that thumbs up button. Helps bring more people across to the stream. Maybe it'll help us bring some Huddersfield fans, because it was Huddersfield winning away at Nottingham Forest last night. Get your comments in on this one. I watched most of the game, was concentrating on about 50 other things, as we are on a sort of super stream. But I got the gist of it. Huddersfield will be pleased to have kept that clean sheet. Forest maybe a bit profligate in front of goal. But look, I often get accused of not praising Huddersfield enough. Let's praise Huddersfield, who, for God's sake, are going to go into the new year in the top 6. I tipped them for relegation. So it's fair to say Huddersfield have stuck 2 fingers up at me for the majority of the season, and more power to them. Certainly is my view on that. Forest, second straight defeat after that great run under Super Stevie Cooper. Get your comments in on this one. Forest 0, Huddersfield 1. Let me have my last sip of coffee. There it goes. That was a Chilean sensation. Like, pause that. Right, here we go again. Apologies if you're listening back on the podcast. By the way, all these shows go down with podcast feed as well. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Samba in goal for Forest. Still having to play Colback at left back. Spence at right back. It's a bit of a disgrace given the amount of turnover of players at Forest that they're basically got 2 loanee fullbacks and they're playing a central midfielder there at the moment because one of them is injured. McKenna and Worrell, centre-backs. Ojeda, Garner. Johnson, Zinkernagel, Silva added to that mix at the front, and Graben up top. For Huddersfield, Nichols in goal. Turton, Pearson, Colwill, Turton tucking in at right centre-back there. Thomas, Toffolo, High, O'Brien, Sinani, Holmes and Ward up top. And Dwayne Holmes giving Huddersfield the 3 points with the only goal in this one. I wasn't very impressed with Ojeda, the central midfielder, who let Holmes go and then didn't quite catch up with him. Holmes then running into the box. Who did he take it off? Was it Toffolo down that left-hand side? Yeah, it was. And Holmes, the ex-Derby player, scoring at the City ground. Missed chances in the second half. We'll look at the numbers. Brennan Johnson missed a big one. So did Daniel Sinani, to be fair, for Huddersfield. Let's have a look at the numbers. You can get your comments in. Christ. 23 shots for Forest. I will hear you say only one big chance apiece, though. So XG, maybe I can get you a number for that, and we can see how good the chance quality for Forest actually was, or were they just peppering the goal? Forgive me as I pad, and I will give you that number. 1.71 on the XG, so they probably should have been on the score sheet, Forest, excuse me, during this game. Huddersfield, though, get the win, and they are in 6th position. 39 points. Look at that, 3 straight wins for Huddersfield as well. That's tremendous. I've been doubting them all season, so I'll throw in that I still don't expect them to finish in the playoffs, but tremendous job by Huddersfield up until now. And look, the door's open. You know, could it be an unlikely one for Carlos Corberán? You have to say, well done, good job there. Forest in 9th, back-to-back defeats. Barnsley at home next, though, for Forest, which, sorry, Barnsley fans, is a good game at the moment, isn't it? What are we going to say in the chat here? Jacob, brilliant way to finish the season. Last few minutes were a bit tense. Carlos is doing bits with the squad we have. Agree totally. Simon, a bit profligate. It got silly. Well, there you go. Will, I remember watching Huddersfield against Preston. I thought they were poor, yet they still managed to win without a shot on target. Strange team this season. They're proving a lot of us wrong, aren't they? Chris, Huddersfield competed evenly in first half, had to hold on in second half. Forest need another good forward. And on that, Villa Twitter, Kieran Davis on his way to Forest. He's a good player. Hopefully he will do well. Simon, could Huddersfield fluke their way towards the playoff? That's Simon's words, not mine. Look, if you get in the playoffs, believe me, it's not a fluke over 46 games rather than the last 2 results. But there we go. Jacob, I'd rather have the points on the board than the games in hand. Well, especially with how the fixture list could go towards the end of the season. Hopefully it doesn't. Mr. E, Forest still in the race for the top 6. Sometimes look like a work in progress. Signed some fullbacks, Steve Cooper, in the January window. You'd think with that much turnaround, they would have had that area of the squad sorted, but there you go. Great to see the teams without the biggest budgets of squads doing so well. It is, Ben. You just hope that when they do come up against the teams with the big budgets, probably in the playoffs, that they can lay a glove on them. Sometimes that's not the case. Keep your comments coming, please. Please hit like on the stream. Help us bring more people along to the channel. Hit subscribe as well if you have not already. Right, let's talk about Bristol City 1, QPR 2, down at Ashton Gate, and another late home defeat, or late defeat, period, for Bristol City. Get your comments in on this one. QPR winning, as you can see there on the screen, in the 93rd minute via a pretty decent Johan Barbe header on the near post. We'll talk about all of that. You get your comments in. O'Leary in goal for Bristol City. Bentley on the bench. Interesting. Tanner and Pring, fullbacks. Callas and Viner, centre-backs. James and King, midfield. O'Dowd left. Vyman right. Scott 10. Semenyo up top for QPR. Dieng, Dickey, Dunn, Barbe, Wallace, Adoma, Field, Johansson, Willock, Austin, Amos, and no Chair, no Kake. He's on the bench, to be fair. Dieng's still there. We'll keep talking about the AFCON until we actually see a QPR player in an AFCON game, but we've been expecting them to go for the last couple of games. We will find out. Let's have a look. A bright spark for Bristol City is Alex Scott, who's very good, isn't he? Vyman picks up, drives into the box here. Scott is in the right place at the right time, hits it early. To be fair to Dieng in goal, there's a big deflection, isn't there? Who is that coming in and blocking? Is that Dickey? I can't quite make out, a little bit blurry in the picture. But Scott, definitely a fine player, and he gets the opening goal. Problematic, though, right at the end of each half. Big problems for Bristol City. There's Luke Amos. You can see Pring totally the wrong side, isn't he? And there's a covering defender there just coming into the picture. That close to half-time with cover possibly coming in and the keeper covering the near post. Do you need to make that tackle? I don't know. Easy with me with hindsight here and, looking down on it. But, yeah, penalty. Here comes Charlie Austin, sticks the ball in the net. You're obviously not going to find it funny if you're a Bristol City fan, but Charlie Austin just seems to have gone into no F's given mode whenever he scores, winding up opposition fans. If you like that sort of thing, you would have liked that. If you don't, you won't. What you won't like if you're a Bristol City fan, red card. What is he doing, James, here? He's on a yellow card. He's got Steph Johansson. Everyone knows Steph Johansson loves a bit of a Shahousery battle in the centre of midfield, but you know you're going to get a yellow card if you grab someone back by the shirt. Every single instance of that gets booked if a referee sees it, and James should know better. Johansson, I'm afraid, winning the battle there. QPR winning the game. And I do have to say, in deference to Bristol City, sometimes when a corner goes in the box, it's just a good delivery and a good header. O'Leary has to come off his line in case that gets flicked on into the box. Else we're saying, why doesn't he come out? O'Dowda has tracked Barbe to a position way in front of the near post. I just think it's a good header in the end. And it's glanced and it flies into the back of the net. 93rd minute. And QPR get the victory. Let's have a look at the numbers, which aren't that great, to be honest, for QPR. A couple of people have been telling me on Twitter they didn't play well in this game and they've got the win. So you'll take it, won't you, if you're a Rangers fan? 11 shots apiece, 4-3 on target. 2 big chances apiece. XG, 1.5 Bristol City, 1.46 QPR. So it's hardly like they were banging the door down with the extra man, but they did get the win late on QPR. 38 points, edges of the playoffs. 23 games gone, double that. 76 would normally get you 5th place, 76th over the last 10 years in the Championship. So QPR need to now repeat 38 points over the next 23 games. And they will probably be in the playoffs. You can see they've got 2 games in hand on the teams directly above them and a game in hand on the next 2 who are a little bit further away. And, of course, with the caveat we've been repeating about Dieng, Chair and Kake going off to the AFCON. Bristol City, I don't get them. I don't understand. Erratic periods in the season where they've been the best away team in the league. Short period where they had 10 points in 4 home games. Strange team at the moment. There's obviously some kind of mentality thing with the late goals and the home record. They look like they fix it, then it flips back. There's just no solid line of anything for us to cling on to. Hence, that's why they're in 18th. But don't tell me they haven't got good players. Don't tell me Bentley's not good. Callas isn't good. Those young players aren't good. Semenyo, O'Dowda, Vyman, strange. You try and explain it in the comments. Let's see what you guys are saying. Limbs in the away end. Well, you love that. Were you in there, Richard? Sounds good to me. Bristol City really have a knack of crushing their supporters. They do. They really do, bless them, don't they? Paul, we played badly in the first half. Lucky to get all 3 points. That seems to be the sense from most of the Rangers fans I've chatted to. City played very well. Could have been out of sight. Had taken their chances. Could have been given a penalty. Bias at the door. Always leave your bias at the door. Pearson was not happy with the ref in this one. Really? Looked a penalty to me. Looked a red card to me as well. Getting the win when we didn't play well is a good sign. Never a bad thing, isn't it? Vital 3 points with the upcoming AFCON absences. Yes, we are getting Archer, the old Millwall. He was at Fulham, wasn't he, for a while? Is there more QPR players than City ones in the area for that goal? Probably. Was 11 versus 10 in the end. Yes, I was. You love to see it. Brereton Diaz contract is ending. It is ending. They've got an option for another year. So don't take that date as, free transfer. It's not. There's an option to 2023 for Blackburn. That's come up a few times. Right, 2 to go. And it is Stoke 1, Derby 2. I'm sure we'll have plenty of comments on this one because Derby have won 3 games in a row. Now, I'm not one to get carried away. We'll do all the maths and we'll be very sensible about this. But you cannot fail to be impressed with a team with a 21-point deduction, complete disarray off the field, administration, new owners dropping out left and right, winning 3 games in a row. Well done, is all I'll say to Derby and Wayne Rooney. We'll do some number crunching in a minute. Projections, lies, damned lies, and more statistics. But well done, Derby. Fair dues to Rooney and the Rams. Davies in goal for Stoke. There are 2 sides to every story. Stoke losing at home here. Fox, Bart, Wilmot. Apparently Ostergaard is going back to Brighton. So we're expecting... I don't know whether it'll be another centre-half comes in, but expecting another loan signing in at Stoke. Smith and Timon, full-backs or wing-backs. Vrancic, Alan Klukas, Brown and Campbell up top. For the Rams, Allsop, Byrne, Jagielka, Davis, Forsyth, Bird, Thompson, Josh Viak, Lawrence, Knight, Plange. He's getting a hell of a tune out of that team, isn't he? Rooney, fair dues to him. Here's the opening goal for Derby. No, it's not. Here's the opening goal for Derby. Josh Viak does well, comes in off the right-hand side, feeds it through to Plange, making the run. I think 16 minutes, slides that one home, 1-0 Derby. However, of course, it's a former Derby player, Tom Ince. And maybe players like Tom Ince are the reason that Derby are in so much bother. A lot of money spent on a lot of, quote, proven championship players. And Derby got to the playoff final twice, never got promoted. And hence they are where they are right now. Ince drills that one in. However, here comes the winner. Colin Kazim-Richards, 85 minutes. So it's good work from Ravel Morrison, who slides Kazim-Richards in. He edges across, hits it left-footed, I think, through the legs there of the defender into the back of the net. Well played, Derby. And from what I've heard, pretty good value for this one. I didn't see the game, but I speak to lots of people, put it that way. 10 shots to 7, 2 big chances to 0. Let me give you an XG number. Stoke created 0.27 XG. And remember, we talked about Forest creating 1.71 and not scoring. Stoke did with 0.27. So hardly banging the door down again. I'll use the same well-worn cliche. Stoke are in 8th, but look at that. 4 points in the last 5 games. That is not form that's going to keep them anywhere near those playoff positions, especially when you look at Blackburn streak, at Middlesbrough streak, at Huddersfield streak. Right, let's do the Derby numbers because we do them every single time, don't we? So Derby have 10 points. Let's forget catching Barnsley, catching Peterborough. It's all irrelevant. You still get relegated unless you catch 21st place, which is Reading. And juicily enough, Derby play Reading in their next game. So we could really get something interesting if Derby were to beat Reading. So we'll do what we always do. Add the 21 points on and Derby would be 13th. According to the 10-year history, we need 45 to survive, plus 21 is 66. So Derby are currently in 13th place form, generally across the season. We think we need them to be in 10th place form. That's my calculation there. And look, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know whether we can trust the 10-year averages. It's different every season. We don't know whether there will be a low tide. We don't know whether the Reading points deduction will make a difference. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? All we do know is that winning these games as Derby are is, it's actually giving them a realistic chance of something we thought was impossible. Look, will they win the next 3? Who knows? Will they lose 4 out of the next 5? And we'll be saying, no, it's impossible again. Who knows? But at the moment, the trend is that if these results keep going, well, let's do the numbers then. So let's say it's 45. Let's say it's a low tide then. Call it 40. Call it 43. So 33 points then required from the remaining 22 games. So far, they've got 31 from 24. So we're still talking about Derby, who are doing well, but improving on what they've done previously this season to get anywhere close. But hey, they're making it interesting. We don't know what will happen in January. They're still in administration. There'll be bids for their best young players. We don't know what's going to happen. But what you can say is that's excellent, excellent work from Rooney and the Rams players. They're doing themselves proud, considering it's not the players' fault or the manager's fault what's gone off, what's gone on off the pitch, isn't it? Wenlock, hopefully Derby get a preferred bidder, was meant to be this week. Yeah, and then the longer it goes into January, am I going to make a cheeky bid for Ebasele or Sibley or Bird or Knight or Plange or insert Buchanan youngster at Derby? Dave, whatever happens this season, all bodes well for next season and beyond. It does, providing that it's just not siege mentality and they can, we've seen teams like, I think Sheffield Wednesday, didn't they? It was like they had the deduction, and when it seemed impossible, they were okay. And then when they got close, they just froze. So we will see. Morrison has always had the talent. Rooney knows him well, doesn't he? Andy asked thoughts on Ravel Morrison. Seems a welcome addition. Yeah, I think he's a bench option, isn't he? I think there are more important people there at Derby. Best English school, Derby was superb in this game. What a player Ebasele is. Reminds me of a younger Adama Traore. Let's hope he's got a bit more end product there. Adama gets a lot of criticism for that, doesn't he? Fully deserved win. Derby have some great youngsters. Yes, they do. You've got to love Derby's spirit. Absolutely. Stephen, unfortunately, I was at the game, but I shared my thoughts. I'll be banned from the channel. You'll never be banned, Stephen. Stephen and Luke obviously sponsor our watch-alongs, don't they? As the Stranglers sang in 77, Softly Bird had changed. Dun, 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 dun. Credit to the Derby fans. They were amazing. Reading v Derby now being shown on Sky on Monday. Bring it on. I am all over that one for sure. Woof. There could be bids for their old players as well. Yeah, there could be. I think some of the contracts actually expire in January, the ones they signed up for the older players. We will see. Chris, I still think they'll be liquidated. There's still that chance, isn't there? You would need at least another 8 or 9 wins. Be hard when you put the numbers. It's always hard when you take the numbers real, in isolation, wasn't it? Dave, disappointing performance from Stoke. 1 shot on target. Tells the story. Credit to Derby, much better side. Stoke still in the mix. Need a response against Preston on Monday. Agreed. Absolutely agreed with that. Last one, and the game that we didn't think was going to go ahead, that Millwall fans didn't want to go ahead, was won by Millwall. Unbelievable. Coventry 0, Millwall 1. Possibly the most unlikely result of the day. Where if you were analysing this from 10 hours before kickoff, where none of the Millwall fans really wanted to go. But the team is all right that they managed to put out, and they won the game. There are the teams there. Coventry, Wilson in goal, Hyam, McFadden, Rose, Martin, Kane, Sheaf, Kelly, O'Hare, Godden, Walker. For Millwall, Bialkowski, Hutchison, Pierce, Cooper, McNamara, Wallace, Mitchell, Saville, Ojo, Bradshaw, and Bennett. Lots of attention on Zach Lovelace, who did come on the 90th minute, 15 years old. 15. That's right, 15. Only goal in this game was not a pretty goal by Tom Bradshaw. Big boot down the middle, a couple of bounces, couple of flicks. They had chances to clear it. They didn't. Bradshaw sticks it in the back of the net in the 79th minute to give Millwall. Was it a bit of a smash and grab? You tell me. Let's have a look at the numbers. One big chance apiece. XG, that was the previous day. Let me get it up. on here. 1.22 to 1.24. Pretty even in those regards. It's only the shot count there, 14 to 9, that's heavily in Coventry's favour. But Millwall go and get the win. These two sides in 10th and 11th now. Coventry, real sense of regression to the mean now. They were kind of comfortably 4th a while ago, weren't they, with that brilliant home form? And it's dropped off, haven't they? You can see no wins in the last 5. I don't know if that extends back any further for Cov. Millwall, 2 wins in the last 3 for them. You'll take that. 2 points per game over a 3-game sample there. 7 points in 5. It's all right, isn't it? They're holding up in the top half, and they will hope to get a bench full of players and to maybe have a bit more of a competitive squad. But talk about competitive. They won the game, for God's sakes, didn't they? Zakic's my age. What am I doing with my life? Don't compare yourself to Zach, Anir. I'm sure you're doing great. Thomas, a toothless performance from Cov. Any hope of a top last half finish fading if things don't start to improve? Agreed. Thankfully, next game against Luton's already off, so we won't have to suffer through that. Born in 2006, makes me sick. Good luck, Zach. I'm sure he'll be. Millwall won't be wanting to use him again this season, but fair play indeed. Very poor performance, Callum. Millwall played for the draw. Took all 3. If we win our 2 games, we'll be back in the playoffs. FA Cup game at home to Derby next Saturday should be interesting. David, credit to Millwall, especially what happened with the lineups. Cov's home form. Well, it was decent, wasn't it? Dropped off now over the last 4 or 5 games, hasn't it? Glad the 15-year-old got a bit of pitch time. Tremendous stuff. Surprised Lovelace's mum let him stay up so late. There we go. The realisation happens to us all. Mine was Michael. Yeah, Michael Owen. I guess he must be pretty much the same age as me. He was coming through. So Michael Owen must have been like 17 in 1990. He's a bit older than me, but yeah, comes to you as to us all. Absolutely. Right. That is everything in terms of the tables. Let's do team of the round. Get your votes in. Let me give you the winners this round in the championship. Do I have to give you the normal reminder that for our vote to be in any way credible, you must leave your bias at the door and only vote for the team you support if that's a legitimate vote. Don't just do it because your heart has a little flutter and you feel that you should. Let's get a credible result. So, team of the round, could it be Blackburn pushing on? They win again. Could it be Middlesbrough with their ridiculous late win? Could it be Millwall, who won against the odds with not much of a squad? Could it be Bournemouth? They went 4 points clear at the top. QPR with their late win. Could it be Huddersfield? Or could it be Derby with their 3rd win on the bounce? Get your choices in. Your winners were Blackburn, Borough, Millwall, Bournemouth, QPR, Huddersfield, or Derby. Let's have a look and see what you guys are saying. Millwall, Derby, Huddersfield, Derby, Millwall, Derby. There we go. So very, very clearly, well played, Derby. Derby are your team of the round. And help me out one more time. Goal of the round. Again, please only vote for a player that plays for the team you support if you believe he did actually score the goal of the round. I'll give you some options. My choices, Sporar for Middlesbrough, the back heel. Very good goal indeed. Not much to choose from here. Not many goals. Barbe's header on the near post there, possibly. Any of the Stoke Derby goals any good? Maybe Plange's goal for Derby. Honestly, I don't want to influence the vote, but it seems like Sporar is the clear winner for me. But I'll let it run another 10 seconds or so, and you can decide who you think was the goal of the round. Get your votes in now. What are we saying here? Sporar, Holmes, Sporar. There we go. So, goal of the round, Andras Sporar for Middlesbrough. Beautiful back heel. Team of the round is Derby County. I've got Q&A written up there, but honestly, guys, I've probably got to get off and I've got to work on my blooming predictions piece for tomorrow. Just quickly, let me know what time would be a good time to do the stream tomorrow, predictions-wise. Look, we need to do it maybe 10 a.m. by the latest because the games will indeed be kicking off, we hope. Although, that being said, if the game between Sheffield United and Borough is cancelled, maybe we can go a little bit later. But do let me know, tweet me or whatever, what time you want to see the preview show tomorrow. Right, thanks everybody for watching. Any shout outs, I'll stick them up in the advert at the end. Please hit like before you go. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you as ever for your support throughout the year. Outstanding stuff from you lot. More of the same next year. There will actually be one more video on the channel before the new year because I've already got it in the can. We'll launch that late afternoon, I think. And it's a lovely big over and out from me. Where's the button? Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this show, then why not check out Championship 365?
The only area to find Benjamin Bloom, the Second Tier Podcast, and myself, Ben HD, all in the same place.
We'll debate the key topics and interact with you, our community of subscribers.
And we'll be releasing 2 exclusive weekly videos.
So visit www.network.planetsports.com.
Championship 365, 3 creators, 1 community.